Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to give everyone just a minute to join the webinar before we get started. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to give everyone just a minute to join the webinar before we get started. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm Andrew Sorensen, a spokesperson here at CU Boulder. I'll be moderating today's call. This call was originally scheduled to be focused on faculty and staff COVID-19 questions. We've changed the focus of today's call to address yesterday's tragic shootings at the Table Mesa King Soopers and answer your questions. If you have questions for today's panelists on the webinar today, and you're watching this via Zoom, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. You can start doing that now. If you happen to be watching this via YouTube, please be advised that we may not be able to answer your questions, but we will try. We will do our best to get to all questions. If you have a COVID-19 related question and we do not get to your question, you can reach us at colorado.edu/COVID-19. Our panelists will answer your questions until the scheduled end of the webinar. If by chance we run out of questions before the scheduled end of the webinar, we will end early. And as a reminder, today's call will be recorded. For now, as this was originally scheduled as a COVID-19 webinar, we will make that recording available on our COVID-19 website. We will also post this on a future page regarding community resources following the King Soopers shooting. On today's call, we have Chancellor DiStefano, Provost Russ Moore, Chief Operating Officer Pat O'Rourke, Director of Director of Faculty and Staff Assistance Program, Stanley Lee. Now I'd like to introduce Chancellor DiStefano to say a few opening remarks.
Thank you, Andrew. First, on behalf of Provost Moore, Chief Operating Officer O'Rourke, I want you to know how deeply saddened and distraught we are from yesterday's tragic and senseless loss of lives. Our hearts go out to those who lost their lives, their families, and the many others who were directly impacted by this devastating act of violence in our own backyard. Our hearts also go out to all those in our campus community and to those in the Boulder community. This is a difficult time for all of us. There are no current CU Boulder students, faculty, or staff members or alumni who were among the victims, and the suspect is not a student or an employee at CU Boulder. Boulder is a small community, and it's likely that some of our students, faculty, and staff know the victims. We also know that students, faculty, and staff members were witnesses to this horrible event. For members of our campus community who were impacted by what happened yesterday, we encourage you to seek support from our campus resources. The Office of Victims Assistance, OVA, offers 24/7 phone support for students, faculty, and staff. Counseling and Psychiatric Services, CAPS, offers 24/7 phone support for students, and the Faculty and Staff Assistant Program also offers 24/7 assistance in finding local resources or providing immediate crisis counseling. We also encourage you to check in with your colleagues and classmates. Show your empathy and support to our neighbors, our friends, and our family who may also be struggling with news like this. It's important for all of us to pull together as a community and to care for one another as we await more information from local authorities. While we don't know the suspect's connection to Boulder, I would urge each of us not to make assumptions about the suspect, his heritage, or his motives. CU Boulder is committed to creating a welcoming and safe campus community, to ensuring that people feel safe regardless of their race, religion, national origin, gender, age, or disability. As a member of the CU community, we need to refrain from engaging in discriminatory behavior toward people who may share the suspect's heritage. If you see any discriminating actions or behaviors or experience them personally, don't ignore it. Instead, report these actions or behaviors to the Office of Institutional Equity and Compliance. Though classes will continue to take place this week, we encourage faculty and supervisors to be flexible if students, faculty, and staff need to miss classes or work to cope with the impacts of this horrifying ordeal. We are here for one another, and we will get through this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor DiStefano, and thank you to Provost Moore and COO O'Rourke for joining us today as well. Now I'd like to introduce COO O'Rourke, who will provide a brief update.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you for this opportunity to be here today to speak with our community. Yesterday was a tragic day in Boulder, and we know that our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and our neighbors were harmed by a senseless act of violence perpetrated against the entire Boulder community, and we share in our community's grief. CU police officers responded to the Table Mesa Shopping Center yesterday to assist the Boulder Police Department. We're very grateful for our CUPD officers for what they do to protect our campus, and we're immensely grateful to the Boulder Police Department for what its officers do to protect our community. We have partnered with the Boulder Police Department on many occasions and express our deepest condolences to Chief Harold, the Boulder Police Department, to Officer Talley's family and friends, and the family and friends of all those who lost their lives yesterday. Yesterday, the campus issued an alert when we had accurate information from Boulder Police Department that the incident was ongoing and that a suspect had not been apprehended. At the request of law enforcement, the university also provided buses to transport people away from the scene. And we continue to provide a family assistance center at the CU Event Center through tomorrow to support victims' families. The investigation into the shooting is ongoing and is being led by the Boulder Police Department. We're not able to answer any questions about the investigation at this time. Please know, however, that we will continue to offer support to the Boulder Police Department and to our broader Boulder community as we begin to process and work through this tragedy. As the Chancellor mentioned, many of our faculty, students, and staff may be experiencing anxiety, stress, and grief. We urge you to take care of each other, check in with each other, and please do take advantage of the resources the Chancellor just mentioned. With that, I'll turn it over to Provost Moore.
Thank you, Pat. And first, I underscore the statements of shock, dismay, and empathy that were provided by Chancellor DiStefano and COO O'Rourke. During this semester, in particular, we've been concerned about isolation and loneliness, particularly of our students, staff, and faculty. For that reason, yesterday, we asked our faculty to continue to hold class, even if optional, so that they can be there for students to provide space and to listen to students' concerns. I have to emphasize the value of our faculty, graduate assistants, and staff as mentors to our students, and the value of that is incalculable. And given the circumstances that we're under today, their role is doubly important now. And we need to do everything we can to prevent that sense of isolation and loneliness and to provide a sense of community while being flexible and empathetic and understanding. I do want to announce that partly as a result of yesterday's events, we've made some changes in some deadlines for our students, and I want to communicate to our advisors as well. Tomorrow, March 24th, was originally the deadline for several important academic actions for students, including dropping a class, choosing a class to take a class pass-fail, and designating a class that they are taking this semester as a grade replacement for a previous attempt. We are extending all of those deadlines by a week to March 31st. This should offer our students support and give them some time to think through any of these choices. And please, students, work with your advisors when you're making these decisions to do so thoughtfully. Finally, I do want to stress the importance of being flexible, approaching things with empathy and compassion, and particularly for our faculty and staff. Be there to listen and be there to support. And also, please take advantage of any of the resources that the Chancellor mentioned earlier on in his comments. Now let me turn it back to Andrew.
Thank you, Provost. Now I'd like to introduce Stanley Lee. He's Director of Faculty and Staff Assistance Program. Stanley.
Thank you, Andrew, for the opportunity to be here today. Let me first start by acknowledging that the incidents that occurred yesterday is not trivial, and whatever emotions and reactions you may be having, and that could even include non-reactions, are perfectly appropriate and healthy responses to a traumatic incident. I encourage you to talk to someone who you love, someone who you trust, and to seek support. Faculty and Staff Assistance Program is a free and confidential counseling office available for staff and faculty of the university. We are currently prioritizing individuals who are directly impacted by the shooting, first responders, and those who are experiencing a psychiatric crisis. You can find out more information on our website, colorado.edu/HR/FSAP. For students or parents in the audience today, I would encourage you to visit CAPS and OVA. So that's going to be Counseling and Psychiatric Services and the Office of Victim Assistance. In addition to their main line, both CAPS and OVA offer an after-hour support line, as the Chancellor mentioned earlier. And lastly, I'll plug CAPS' Let's Talk program that offers remote drop-in sessions Monday through Friday. For any parents in the audience today, I realize that this is an incredibly trying time to be a parent, particularly if you have a child in one of the neighboring schools in South Boulder. Children look towards their parents to make them feel safe, and this is no exception to that. Thank you for everything you're doing to help your children and students feel supported and safe. One final word that I'll put in is an encouragement to please take care of yourselves today, this week, this month, this year, and to please be kind to and to seek support from your community. I'll be answering questions through the Q&A function. Thank you so much, and I'll pass it back to Andrew.
Thank you so much, Stanley. So to reiterate, we've talked about faculty and staff assistance, the CAPS program. Also, we want to reiterate tomorrow, March 24, originally the deadline for several important academic actions for students. Those deadlines for dropping a class, continuing to take a class as pass-fail, designating a class they're taking this semester as a grade replacement. All of those deadlines are going to be pushed to March 31st. This should offer our students support and give them some time to think through those choices. As we go forward into the Q&A here, again, if you want to use that Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, we will get started with a question for Provost Moore, and feel free to add anything, Stanley Lee. Are you bringing in specialized support for students in the aftermath of this event? And are there any campus-wide faculty, staff, students, forums to support or support groups available as opposed to individual options?
Yes, I'd be happy to take a first stab at this, and I'll also invite COO O'Rourke to respond as well after Stanley has a chance. Yes, so first of all, we do have very professionalized services and support services. Again, we've already talked about those, and the Chancellor highlighted those along the way. I do know we've been in contact with other campuses to see if they might have some specialized support to bring to bear as well, because we do know that given just the pre-shooting stresses and strains upon our mental health support staff, CAPS folks, et cetera, that was considerable. And then again, given the events of yesterday, we're just trying to make sure that we have ample resources and support services for folks in the prioritized level that Mr. Lee talked about moments ago. So Stanley, let me turn it over to you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So our pre-existing services are technically specialized services. So faculty and staff assistance program, specialize in working with employees of the university, counseling and psychiatric services, specialize in working with our student groups, and then Office of Victim Assistance, specialize in working with kind of both faculty and staff and students. In addition to that, excuse me, if you reach out directly to any of our teams, we can kind of consult with you and navigate whether or not there are maybe special needs that might be needed at the time.
Thank you. Question here for Pat O'Rourke. Why wasn't the alert about the King Soopers shooting sent sooner to CU community members?
Thanks for the question. So the university sends safety and security alerts for those active situations that would put students, faculty, and staff in danger, generally either located on campus or in the immediate proximity to campus. This incident was located off campus, and the Boulder Police is the lead and responding law enforcement unit. We issued an alert that modeled the Everbridge communication that was put out by BPD. Once we had accurate information from Boulder Police that the incident was ongoing, that a suspect had not been apprehended, and that they were requesting assistance and making sure that people didn't come to the area, so that we wanted to make sure that our alerts and communications were in coordination with what is being sent by Boulder Police for the community protection.
All right. Thank you. Next question for Provost Moore. Why were classes not canceled this week, or at least today, and replaced with care-based events?
Again, consistent with the comments that I made just moments ago, we thought it was important to provide the structure that would help folks have a sense of community. This decision was not made lightly, and we've had some past experiences with it. For many students, being in class is a sense of community for them. And again, with the request of the faculty, TAs, and staff to really provide some flexibility and space for students to talk about their feelings and to share things with their faculty. And given the impact that faculty, TAs, and staff have as mentors to our students, we thought this was the best action forward. Again, I also want to reiterate the need to be flexible, and all of our faculty should be well-versed in directing our students to resources and support services on campus. So that was the basis of that decision.
Thank you, Provost. Question here for Chancellor DiStefano. Were any of the victims CU community members?
Thank you, Andrew. As I mentioned earlier, there are no current CU Boulder students, faculty, or staff among our members of our alumni who were among the victims. And the suspect, as I mentioned before, is not a student, nor is he an employee of the University of Colorado Boulder.
Okay, thank you. Question for Pat O'Rourke. Do we have any more information on the 17th and Grove situation that occurred yesterday afternoon?
Yes, that was a situation where there was an initial thought that it might be related to the events of the King Soopers. Police confirmed that it was an unrelated incident that had been reported to them, and it was resolved yesterday afternoon, but that the alert went out in an abundance of caution to make sure that people were able to be safe while it was resolved.
Thank you. And another question for Provost Moore, this one from a parent. Can professors talk with students and encourage them to talk about what they're feeling and direct them to resources?
Yes, absolutely. So all of our professors, deans, department chairs, and staff are provided with a folder of appropriate resources. And in particular, this is what I would really encourage faculty, which would include TAs and those staff who are engaged in our teaching mission of the university, to really provide space for students to share their feelings, to have those discussions, and to really be good listeners, and I think to really tune in on what the needs of our students are. I also want to emphasize that under situations like this, and perhaps Stanley Lee could talk about this in a little more detail, these kinds of events impact people temporally quite differently. Some people may be feeling a lot of stress and strain today, and maybe in a few days, the consequences of these events will all of a sudden land on someone. So I think we need to be particularly vigilant in the coming days and weeks, just to be sensitive on how this horrible event has impacted our community. Stanley, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, thank you, Provost Moore. Exactly to his point, symptoms of trauma and responses to significant events really vary honestly by the minute sometimes. So part of our preparation really will be in creating a lot of space for our students, our staff, faculty, our children, our families, right, to have a varied amount of emotions over really an extended period of time. Sometimes emotional responses can happen right away. Sometimes they could be delayed. And again, sometimes there could be no response at all. All of this is a perfectly healthy, normal response to very abnormal situations. What I might suggest is to really be kind of extra kind, extra vigilant to yourself, to your community, to your family right now, and really invite space for those type of emotions to show up should they arise.
Yeah, I think we can only use a little bit of that right now. Thank you. And we're going to stay with you, Stanley, for our next question. If students, faculty, or staff feel they're not afforded the needed flexibility, who can they contact?
Yeah, great question. So for any faculty and staff or employees, they can contact Human Resources. And then for any students, they should go through their department chair. And I will sort of emphasize what Chancellor DiStefano mentioned in the email and what others have mentioned in this call, really a request and a call for faculty and staff to provide a lot of flexibility and support right now.
Thank you. A question for Provost Moore. With the grade replacement deadline, will tuition be charged twice?
With the grade replacement deadline, will tuition be charged twice? I'm not sure I understand that question. So if a student is taking a course to replace a grade, that course is actually covered by the tuition that is already being paid. Oh, I think I understand the question now. So you won't be given credit for the course that you may not have done so well in past years. So basically you paid your tuition and you had your chance then, and now you're paying your tuition and you're doing your grade replacement now. If I understand the question correctly, I believe that's the right answer.
Okay. Another question for you, Provost. Have students been notified of the deadline changes?
If the notification hasn't been made, it's coming out imminently. So Senior Vice Provost Eggert is working on that announcement, and we're working with the registrar, and we're pushing that out to all the advisors today.
Okay, thank you. A question for the Chancellor or the Provost, perhaps both. Will there be any CU Boulder initiatives to help the families, I assume, of victims offer free snow shoveling, lawn mowing, childcare, help around the house, things to show that CU cares and help these Boulder families get back on their feet over the next few months?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, for that. I mean, one of the areas that I will follow up with is working with our Division of Student Affairs and our volunteer organization on campus, and work with our Dean of Students to look at ways that not only students, but also maybe our staff and faculty could assist. We haven't made any plans yet, but that's certainly something that I will follow up with Student Affairs and with Human Resources.
Yeah, and if I can jump in as well, if we are working with student affairs on these kinds of things, but we want to be particularly respectful of the wishes of the families who are directly involved by the shooting. We don't want to step on people's toes with the best of intentions, so we're being cautious. But also, we will certainly lend a hand when it's appropriate to do so.
Absolutely. A question for Pat O'Rourke here. Who should I contact to ensure I get alerts?
Thanks, Andrew. So the first place that anyone who wants to receive alerts should go is to the following website, https://alerts.colorado.edu. If people are having problems receiving alerts, they should contact Buff Info and they can receive support through that office.
Thank you. Question for the provost or Stanley Lee, and again, both feel free to answer. The events in Boulder yesterday only compound anxiety that our Asian student community may be feeling, this person says. Any student, faculty, and staff may access the psychological support services on campus, but what specific outreach is being instigated to support our Asian students?
Well, I'll try this first, and then I'll turn it over to Stanley. So I do know that just a year ago, we made significant investments in providing culturally competent professionals in our CAPS and all of our support services on campus to be more appropriate to communities who may need that specialized support. So we have been making intentional efforts in that regard. And let me turn it over to Stanley if you want to weigh in on anything else.
Yeah, thank you, Provost Moore. Yeah, to echo Provost Moore's points, all of our counseling office are making significant efforts and strides to not only diversify our staff and counselors, but to really make sure that we are prepared with the latest in cultural awareness and humility practices, best practices. And I would say additionally to that, just speaking, of course, as someone who identifies as Asian American, I think any particular, empathy, support, kindness that you can show to folks who you think might be struggling right now, I think just lends that extra bit of kindness.
Great, thank you. Another question for Stanley. Is CAPS able to take new people, and I'm going to add in FSAP there, or are your resources getting overloaded?
So I'll speak specifically for FSAP at the moment here, Faculty and Staff Assistance Program. We are available and open at the moment. And as I mentioned, we are prioritizing folks who are directly impacted by yesterday's events, first responders, or those who are, excuse me, those who are experiencing a psychiatric crisis. And CAPS is available to take on more students. They additionally have walk-in hours from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. In addition to that Let's Talk program, which again is available Monday through Friday, and I'd encourage you to find us. Both those pieces of information can be found on the websites. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Question for the provost and Stanley Lee. How are professors equipped to talk about and facilitate discussions about events like this in the classroom?
Well, I think for most of our professors, they're most equipped to listen and then to refer students to the appropriate support services. By no means do we want to burden the faculty, nor would it be appropriate to suggest that they have the professional training to facilitate discussions at depth. But what they can certainly do is they are oftentimes the adults in the room who can, again, lend an ear and then direct students to the appropriate support services that exist on campus. And they should be well equipped to know what those resources are. Stanley?
Yes, that's exactly right. Our professors hold a very unique role and responsibility of our students, and it would be inappropriate to have them both kind of be in an evaluation role as well as a supportive counseling role. Our professors are really, well prepared to resource students to appropriate services. And as I mentioned, or as Provost Moore mentioned, are very prepared to offer supportive listening and flexibility where needed.
All right, thank you. A question for COO O'Rourke here. Are there any efforts or conversations being had about responding to crises faster? Many students, this person says, have shared concerns that it took about a half hour to be notified of the shooting originally and almost 2 hours to be given the all clear from the second incident.
So that is something that we will look at. Ordinarily, whenever there is an event on this, we will do after action follow-up to see how our systems work and how our processes were there. This is a question about timely communication, and we'll be working with CUPD and others in order to say we can evaluate our communication strategies about rapidly unfolding situations and being in a place where we're able to respond as quickly as possible.
All right, thank you. Question for Provost Moore here. Can graduate students receive a retroactive withdrawal if qualified with proper documentation?
Yes, the answer to that is yes, and the deadline extension that I just mentioned for undergraduates also applies to graduate students.
Thank you. Another question for Provost Moore. Sorry for the whiplash there. A faculty member says they did not receive any messages about holding or canceling classes, and they're wondering what messages we're referring to on that.
That was the chancellor's message from late yesterday.
Question for the chancellor here. So often we say, this isn't right, this shouldn't have happened. And this person is wondering if CU is supporting any particular take on gun reform.
At this time, Andrew, I've not seen anything come out of our legislature. I know there's some discussion about it. It's certainly, depending upon the proposed legislation, we would certainly take a look at the bill and make a decision whether to support it. But I haven't seen anything coming out of the state, but it's something that we will certainly be interested in working with our state legislators, as well as I know some issues that may be going on at the federal level.
Okay, thank you, Chancellor. Question for Pat O'Rourke. Will there be increased campus or building security around CU? For example, will researchers be encouraged to not work at night?
So Chief Jokers has increased the police presence on campus over the next few days. What I would say is that I would not discourage people from doing their ordinary work or being able to study as they have in the past. This was an event that there is no evidence that I'm aware of right now to indicate an ongoing risk to the campus community. The Boulder Police Department and the campus police department are going to be vigilant, and we've increased our security on campus, but we're not recommending people to either avoid work or to avoid study if they feel that they are in the right place emotionally and psychologically to be able to do those activities.
Thank you. Question for the Chancellor here. Is the Boulder community or is campus planning any kind of a vigil?
We haven't had a discussion about holding a vigil. Andrew, we'll certainly take that up with our Division of Student Affairs and make a decision fairly quickly. We just haven't had a chance to talk about that particular issue at this time.
All right, another question for Pat O'Rourke. What kinds of safety measures are in place on campus to prevent something like happening at that King Soopers happening on campus?
So what I'm going to say in response to this is that we do have safety measures in place to be able to train for mass shootings and to prevent those from taking place. We actively train with surrounding law enforcement partners and fire personnel, but that I would not feel comfortable going into the details of what those type of trainings are and what the security measures are in a forum like this, because it could be used inappropriately.
That's fair. This will be our last question for the Chancellor. What can we do to help the community?
Well, as part of the community, members of the University of Colorado Boulder, our faculty, our students, and our staff really need to, number one, take care of themselves and to look out for their fellow students, staff, and faculty members. And then as we move forward, what is it that we can do as a community to assist the victim's family if they're willing to have us work with them however we can. We will certainly do that. But I think the first most important thing is for individuals on the campus to take care of themselves, to take care of their families, their friends, their peers. As I said, we will move forward after this tragic event, but we really need to take care of ourselves, both physically and mentally.
Thank you, Chancellor. And thank all of you for joining us today. Campus will continue to share information and provide updates from yesterday's tragic events as they become available and as is appropriate. Our next campus Q&A, which I believe right now is scheduled to focus on COVID, will be next Tuesday, March 30th at noon. If you have COVID questions in the meantime, please go to colorado.edu/COVID-19. There should be a chat bot in the lower right-hand corner if you have any questions about COVID, about vaccines, or any of those things, to go to that website and check out that chat bot, see if you can get an answer to your question there. Please take good care of yourselves today and going into the future. Stay safe. We'll now end this call.